back to Publishing Power Play. I'm your host, Jana Short, and I am super excited to get started on today's topic. Today's topic is going to be about unlocking collaborative publishing secrets. I'm going to give you some secrets and tips for mutual brand amplification. Like, what does that even mean? It means, how do I get another brand to talk about my brand? How do I get more exposure? Well, the very first tip is look for brands that are in alignment with yours. They have the same core values. The same target market is very important. If you're collaborating currently and you're not seeing any return, it's probably not touching your target market. So what I want you to do is just start doing some research on a few places that would be your target market before you start going in and asking for collaborations. Remember, there needs to be a give. You can't just be asking, I want to collaborate with you because I want to tap into your followers. Let me tell you a little secret. When I wrote my first book, I was super excited. They asked me to write a book about my story, and I was very excited to get started on that. So I started writing this book, and I wrote and I wrote and I wrote, and I was crying and I was laughing, pouring my story out on the pages. And at the end of the day, I had about a really good, solid paragraph. So what I did was like, hey, I know people that have powerful stories of hope, and I'm going to ask them to collaborate. I'm going to ask them to share in a chapter in the book. So I reached out to several people. I had them collaborate with me on the book, and we created a book called Oh My Health, There Is Hope. And it was stories of hope around health. And when we released that book, because it wasn't on my shoulders just to promote the book when it went out, just to my followings, my reach, but every single one of those writers, 20 plus writers, were also doing the exact same thing. So I just collaborated into their target markets through writing a book. By the way, that book launched me on a very lucrative business by bringing on the podcast, Oh My Health, There Is Hope, where people share stories of hope every day. If you guys haven't listened to it, go listen to it. It's one of the highest ranking podcasts right now in health and wellness. And we've been around a while. We've already recorded 500 episodes. So go check it out. So what you're going to do is key number one, look for someone in alignment with your brand, reaching the same demographics you want. And if you've really researched your demographics, this will be super easy. Once you do, start investigating them. Start collaborating by leaving comments on their post, engaging with them, getting to know them, letting them see you before you ask, so that you're starting to build trust and rapport. So when I come with an ask, hey, I would like to be published in your podcast. I would like to be promoted here. I would like to know if there's something we could do to work together here. They know you. Yeah, I've seen her. She's been like commenting on us for the last month and sharing our stories and our articles and our reach. Once you do that, it's super important to understand that you have now attached yourself to their reach, their little circle of people that their reach extends to. So if you have 1,000 people, you attach somebody with 20 and another person with 15,000, another person with 900, every time you collaborate, you've grown your bubble. I have grown in less than a decade. I have grown my bubble to over 1.25 million people. That's emails, 1.25 million emails. That's subscribers to my magazine. But I feel like I know every single one of them because I feel like I've really been spending the time to get to know them, giving heartbeat messages. And I think that's why it continues to grow. So the next thing I want to do is just touch on a few things. The power of collective leveraging and partnerships truly amplifies your voice. So once you figure that out, who they are, and you reach out, some of them will charge. I get it. They spent a lot of money building that platform and brand. You have to decide what your return on investment is, right? So I'm going to reach 20,000 people. And I'm promoting this. And I'm very focused on my message. I'm not just throwing money away. This is tried and true. And now I want to put it on someone else's platform. Am I willing to pay that money? Absolutely, you should be. I have paid to play to get myself to where I'm at now, and it's worth it. And my program's pay to play. There are a lot of people out there, though, that you can connect with to get your brand message and collaborate with, magazines, blogging sites that are going to let you do a one-time free article. Make it count. When you're doing an article, it should be those heartbeats we talked about in episode 1. What are their pain points? What are you giving them? Tools and strategies to do what? To move through that, to feel this. It's all about that journey you're taking your clients on. As a publicist for a magazine, when people send me articles and I reach out to them and they're a happiness coach or a fitness coach or a nutritionist or a scientist, they always try to write something that fits into the season magazine, right? So if it's December, they start writing about Christmas and they truly miss their mark. I don't care where you decide to publish. Always make sure you're speaking directly to your clients. Don't talk to the masses. That's the spaghetti effect, where you're throwing just as much against the wall to see what sticks. Your mission and vision is only to touch those people you have identified through the work we're doing as your clients. So go ahead and figure out who those are. This should take you a lot of time because you should really be diving deep. You should know your client so well. Like I know my clients so well that if I went to a cocktail party and I was standing in a crowd hearing conversations, I would immediately hear those key phrases or terms and know, hey, I have to go step over here. These are my clients. I know they are. I hear it in everything they say and do. So I want you to have your clients that pat down. And so reach out and find out, do you offer a one-time free article? I do columns. Everyone in my magazine, by the way, gets their first article for free. So if you're interested, reach out to Best Holistic Life, or you can email me, well, actually info at Best Holistic Life magazine. Once you send me that, just say, hey, I'd like to know if I can do a free article. I require every single person who submits in my magazine to meet with me personally, one-on-one. The reason I do this is because I have rules for writing. You can't make curative claims of any kind. You can't make any types of diagnosing. Our magazine reaches out to people who are looking for hope and help and answers, and we never want to lead them down the wrong path. And so there's no such thing as a blanket curative claim or diagnosis. So we want to do no harm. So if you want to start writing articles, reach out to me, submit one article for free. But I will tell you, when you get that opportunity to do this for me or anyone else, be focused, clear, know what your message is, know who you're talking to, and get your message out there very clearly. And the last part of that article, as I'm saying, you're going to get tools and strategies, that part in the article, to fill this and this. Lead them into wherever you want them to go. Lead them into, follow me on Instagram for more information. Check out my YouTube channel where there's multiple videos giving you help. Always lead them somewhere, because what if they really like you? We have the memory of a gnat, like, woo, something sparkly over here. Or we have it in our head that this was a really great interview, right? I loved this, what she's teaching. I loved her article. I loved her podcast, interview. And then 3 or 4 days go by and they have a need for you and they don't know how to find you. Always be leading them directly back to you. All roads lead to you. All stories are for your clients only. The next thing I want to talk about is strategic selection, choosing partners with symbolic growth. If I am asking someone to come write for me, I want the free articles to go in for one reason. I want to know if they're a writer, if what they're writing resonates with my clients, their subscribers. So I want my subscribers to love them and them to love writing, because that's a perfect match. If they're in my top 5%, meaning people are reading their articles, they're clicking their links, they're engaging with them, I know you're giving my team or my subscribers what they want to eat, right? I'm not going to serve steak at a vegan party. So I want to make sure that we're giving them the fuel they need to get better. And so what I do is I interview them. They do their first article. We have this conversation about what that looks like, should feel like. They put in their article. And then 3 months later, we reach out to them if they're on our top 5%, and we'll offer them a regular column writing space if there's room. If there's room and they are interested, I'm hoping these are the questions they ask me. What is your return on investment? What is your click rate? What was my click rate? Like, why was I in the top 5%? Tell me what those analytics are. We're asking you for money to publish you. You should know what's behind the magical scenes. Like, go to Oz, pull back the curtains and see, is that for you? By the way, don't poo-poo on someone who says, I only have an 8% open rate. That's a pretty high rate. I think we get ours the first of the month, we get a really high rating. And then after that, it drops down. But I think if you can get a 24 to 55% rate, that is off the charts awesome. That means their parties are engaging. So what you're going to do is ask questions. How do I get a return on investment? And they're going to give you ideas. It's not our job to get you a return on investment. If you're putting stuff that isn't speaking to your clients in our magazine and you've already put it out there everywhere and it's not connecting, there's something wrong with the connection, right? So we got to figure out what that is. So when you come to me, we want to know. As a matter of fact, when someone writes a column for me, they have to meet with me every 2 weeks. We go over their writing. What's their heartbeat? What's the story message? We go over analytics. Find out if they do that for you. You're investing in that. By the way, just so you know, for my magazine, it costs us $500 a day to put you in print. So if you are a page, not a day. So if you're a 2-page article, which all of ours are, they're 2, 3, or 4 page, you're going anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000 that we have invested in you. No ask, just said, yes, come write for us. These are the things we need. Make the best of the space, right? We're going to promote the heck out of you, but just make the best of the space. When a publisher asks you for money, there's a reason. You're really not bringing anything to the table. You might be bringing your followers, but anyone in the free articles would be doing that. You might be bringing other things, but you're not really bringing income in. Most magazines will do it on ad space, but we give you ad space for free. The few times we've sold ad space for our magazine, we've sold $2,000 a page, but we don't do it very often because we want to highlight our writers, our columnists. That's our job, to build your brand exposure in your field. So for you to be strategically placed, just don't throw the spaghetti against the wall. Ask the questions, ask the hard questions, and get the answers. Make sure they're completely transparent. I know that I am. That's a super important part for me. When we meet, I want to go over everything with them. So the next thing I want to touch on is crafting compelling content. We kind of touched on this in episode 1. If you can take the time that you need to figure out your clients' needs, what are they coming from you? If it's fitness, they're coming for weight loss, for body image, right? They're coming for you to feel good about the way they look again. You know what that is. And so what are the feelings that are attached to a fitness coach's clients? Feeling as an outsider, I don't want to go places, uncomfortable, a body image morphing, right? We don't feel like we look the way we should, whatever that might be in our head. And so you have your images cut out for you super easy. And the mirror side of that is, what am I going to feel like when I get the tools and the skills that will actually work for me, that will take me to that next level? So creating that space with your client in an article and a story really helps. Again, the beginning of your article is that valley. Like, you know what? Are you struggling? I have clients who are, this is how I start a lot of them. I have clients that struggle with brand exposure. They are putting their heart out there and they're bleeding money trying to be seen. Does that sound familiar, right? It feels awful to be putting money, throwing your trust out there over and over and over again just to be not successful. How does that feel? But what if I could tell you, I've been doing this for a decade and I have the tools and the skills that I can give you to step out of that space, to step into a space of exposure with the right brand voice and messaging that is really going to resonate with your clients and leave a lasting impression. Wow, right? How would that feel to you? Would that feel like something you're serving so many people, what you went to school for, what you've been struggling so hard to do? How would it feel to really enjoy seeing the smiles on your clients' faces, seeing them get to the right space? How would that make you feel? This is a kind of quality that you have to put in every single messaging you do. Your little shorts, YouTube shorts, your video content, anywhere you're placing your messaging on your Facebook, your Instagram, your LinkedIn, your website. Make sure you're talking your client's love language in everything you do. So I'm going to keep this short. And I also want to tell you, like, if you have any questions, we're going to leave the comments open in the podcast. You can ask and we will get back to you as quickly as possible. If you have any questions, please ask them. My name is Janice Short. I'm the editor-in-chief of Best Holistic Life magazine. I'm also the winner of the IAOTP Publisher and Publicist of the Year Award for this year. So I know a little bit about what I'm doing, and I want to share those with you so that you can grow your brand in a real, authentic, beautiful way. If you like this episode, please hit the subscribe button. So like and follow, leave us a comment. We can only do better. If there's something you're stuck with in publishing, send us the information and let's see if we could do an episode giving you the tools and the strategies you need to move forward. So thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.